Hey there YouTube, it's DBMTG here to just share some experience I had with the Rivals of Ixalan pre-release yesterday. So just going to start off, first go over the deck I used, and then I'll share some of the cards I didn't play with. So just to get started, then I'll pop in. Everything's open already because I did use them in the pre-release, so just going to bring them out here. So going to go over the rares that pulled me into the Vampire side. So got Radiant Destiny, pretty good, giving all my vampires +1/+1 to start, and then once I get the City's Blessing, it also gives them Vigilance, so that was pretty powerful. Had Champion of Dusk. This was my promo card that came with the pack. Pretty powerful. It was always helpful, although I found I ended up planning on using it to draw quite a few cards, but I ended up using it to just pull 1 or 2 cards in a couple games. It was still very helpful. Got some power on the board. And then after deciding to go Vampire, I did splash a couple of power cards I got. So I had Tetzimoc, Primal Death. He was a very good card. As soon as I revealed them and started putting the prey counters on my opponent's cards, I definitely got some fear in their eyes. Always wondering to see how long it'd be till Tetzimoc came out. And I also splashed some red to play Etali Primal Storm, which I only got to land on the board twice. First time I landed him, he knocked out. I ended up winning the game with his attack, so I didn't even get to resolve the cards I could cast, but pretty good in that game. And the other game, he got removed next turn after I played him, but it did take 2 removal cards to take him off the board, so at least I had the cards in my favor afterwards. The other creatures I played, got Sun Sentinel, nice 2/2 Vigilant. Had 2 copies of that. Played Snubhorn Sentry, again splashed to add in. That 0-3 out of the gate for 1 mana is a pretty good defender to start the game, and as soon as you get the City's Blessing and becoming a 3/3 or dropping them as a 1-drop 3/3, that's definitely a powerful one to have. I had 2 copies of him. Had Forerunner of the Legion, which was a great way to make sure I always got to play Champion of Dusk, or if it was earlier in the game, pull out another vampire I needed. Had Skymarcher Aspirant. This one again, 1-drop 2/1, pretty powerful out of the gate, but then with the City's Blessing gives them flying. Definitely a good way near the end of the game to make him useful. Had Bishop Soldier, just 1 copy, but gave me that lifelink and another 2/2 body for 2. So him and Sun Sentinel did a lot of the middle game fighting. Dusk Legion Zealot, only a 1/1 for 2, but getting that extra card was definitely helpful, especially with, again, back to the bomb cards I had. A lot of them had 2 black required, so getting that extra card helped me sometimes get that mana I needed. Vicious Conquistador, 1/2, but every time he attacks, the opponent loses a life. Great early card to use. Voracious Vampire, Menace, and nice thing is he can give Menace to another card, so dropping him early gives me 2 cards that can usually attack in, but dropping him late in the game lets me give one of my big bombs Menace and makes them hard to block. That's it for the creatures I played. I got pretty lucky and had a lot of instants and sorceries come in, so I had Moment of Triumph, +2/+2 until the end of turn. This one actually won 2 games for me because I had it at the end, let the opponent decide to leave themselves with 1 or 2 life, and drop this right at the end to kind of say thank you, but game over. Contract Killing, good way to get rid of some target creatures, and he does have the 2 black, but because he gives me the 2 artifact tokens, it actually helped splash any other color I needed 2 of. I had Impale, another one to help get some creatures off the board. Dark Inquiry. This one I had 2 copies of and was helpful in some cases, getting to look at the hand and take out a non-land. So I used it for removing some removal or a couple bombs. So had a couple opponents not too happy to see the Dark Inquiry, especially when Dark Inquiry came back the second time. At Baffling Ends, nice way to remove some of the 3 or less mana cards, which there are a few powerful cards in the deck with low cost, so it's always nice to have that. They do get the 3/3 if they manage to remove Baffling End, but that never happened for me. Luminous Bonds, another way to tie up someone's hands, keep them from attacking or blocking. This was best used, actually. I didn't have much flying defense, so I tied up a couple flyers in some games, so that was a useful card. And pretty much the same thing with Ixalan's Binding. It was useful to just tie up some cards. So that's what I played for main cards. Now, you'll notice I had just the one splashing of Etali's Primal Storm. In order to get the mana for him, I threw in 2 Traveler's Amulets. These let me only 1 mana, so at the start of the game if I pulled them and didn't have anything else, I could put it on the board and wait till I have an extra mana to play it, but it gave me a good way to get those reds that I needed. And also had Evolving Wilds, so basically I had 3 ways and I only really needed 2 manas, 2 red mana. Played myself with mainly plains and swamps, so I had 7 plains and 6 swamps. A few less swamps because I had more of my early game board on needing plains, so needed that early. And then I had my 2 mountains to pull out. That's pretty much what I played. Only feedback I had from playing this is might not have made, at the end of the day, Etali might not have been powerful enough for it to be worth splashing all my 3 mana fixing cards, 2 mountains and Etali. With those 6 spots I might have been able to do more, but at the end of the day Etali did win me 1 game, and the other game I played him I ended up winning. Etali got rid of a lot of the removal, which cleared the way for the rest of the game, so it's a toss-up. Let me know in the comments what you think. But next I'm just going to quickly scoop these and quickly show you what I didn't use. So I'm going to spend more time on the rares I passed up. So let's start. Had some green, so I was tempted to go Merfolk. So I had World Shaper that I passed on, and that also had Capella, Warden of the Waves. So those 2 had me considering going Merfolk. And then third rare I didn't play was Burning Sun's Avatar, which I think I used it the last the Ixalan pre-release. Pretty good card, dealing 3 damage to the opponent and 3 to target creatures when it comes in, but 6/6 for 6, pretty powerful, and not much of a. I feel the other dinosaurs and other bombs I used were a little bit more powerful, but had me considering dinosaur too. And I'm just gonna quickly flow through here. So again, World Shaper, Deeproot Warrior, had Jadecraft Artisan, Guiltgrove Stalker, another Jadecraft Artisan, Colossal Deadmau, Ravenous Daggertooth, Orazga Frillback, I had 2 of those, Strength of the Pack, Thunderhead Migration, and Hunt of the Weak for green. In blue I had again Kopala, Warden of the Waves, Watertap Weaver, Mist-Cloaked Herald, Riverwise Aguirre, Sworn Guardian, I had 2 of there, Spirewinder, Soul of the Rapids, had 2, Shorekeeper, had Sailor of Means, Kite Sail Corsair, Slippery Scoundrel, Crashing Tide, Foil Negate, Expel from Orazga, Cancel, and Depth of Desire. So probably had enough to play Merfolk there. Splash a little other green or blue, but didn't go for that one for the vampires. Getting to the red here. Burning Sun's Avatar, Nest Robber, Bonded Horncrest, Rigging Runner, Stormfleet Pyromancer, Headstrong Brute, Brazen Buccaneers, Brazen Freebooter twice, Sun-Colored Raptor, Rezga Raptor, Hijack, and Ryle. I was in red. I didn't really look at the dinosaurs. I played them the last pre-release and wanted something fresh. And then some of the whites and blacks I turned up on, so didn't use Kinjali's Collar. I only had the dinosaurs at the end. Wasn't really worth playing them out. Everdon Champion. I was interested in this, but pulled about one of the last pulls I pulled out from the deck. Raptor Companion. Again, not Vampire, avoided that. And Blazing Hope. And then quickly into the blacks. Dinosaur Hunter, Queen's Agent, Rampire Revenant, March of the Drown, Fathom Fleet Warder twice, and Spreading Rot. So I'm going to quickly post the cards I had played with and the ones I didn't, but thanks for tuning in. Cheers!